Hey everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake It's Me, and today is the Saturday check-in. It is Saturday, um, January 18th, 2025. And if you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe. Then head on over to podcast.hellocupcakeitsme.com to check out the podcast that is updated every Thursday. And then head on over to hellocupcakeitsme.com to check out the blog, give it some love, and then make sure that you follow me on all the different social medias. And check out my book at www.cdsthebook.com. So, how is everyone? I'm sorry, I am literally just waking up. I walked out of my bedroom, sat here in the chair, turned on the camera, so I'm still kind of just out of it. And probably going to be out of it most of the day because today is the day that I have my friend's celebration of life. And I am really not looking forward to all the emotions that are going to be present today in celebrating not only his life, but celebrating, just the fact that this person was such an amazing person. And, it's a somber day. I was supposed to have gone out to Portland to go see the biological egg carton, but that choice was taken away from me when my sister decided that she was going to go down by herself last night and that she was going to stay until Sunday and then come home. So it was one of those, oh, okay, well, I guess fuck me too then, but whatever. So just a lot of just different emotions hitting me all at once this morning. And nothing that I really want to deal with. Like if I wasn't expected to be at the celebration, I don't think I would go. Just because it's going to take a lot out of me and I don't know how well I'm going to adjust afterwards. But it's not about me. It's about him not being with us anymore. And he would have shown up for me. And so that's the least I can do for him. But yeah, so I had a doctor's appointment this week, and it was on I want to say like Wednesday. All of my days have kind of been blurring together, but we'll just go with Wednesday. And I did a cold plunge that morning, and it was 34 degrees outside, 38 degrees, somewhere in there. And according to the website that I used, it was supposed to be 45 degrees in the water. So even with that discrepancy, it was still really freaking difficult getting into that water. I didn't do the swimming that I wanted to do. I just was kind of like frozen in place. My friend did their swimming or whatever. I just kind of sat there and moved my arms back and forth and just kind of like, meh. So yeah, I've got to start going more often, regardless of how cold it is outside, and just be there, embrace the suck, and just get it done. That's just what I got to do. I just got to start doing that. Because not only do I feel the benefits of it for days afterwards, but it's kind of become a therapy session for my friend and for myself. And, skipping out on that then takes away from, what it's become for the both of us. So, yeah. As soon as I got out of there, I went straight to the doctor's office, completely forgot every goddamn thing I wanted to talk to him about. Like everything, all of the things that were causing me issues, all of the new, like, stuff that was going on. We talked about my therapist, and I flat out told him, I said, I'm only giving her 2 more chances because I feel like it's a waste of my time if all we're going to do is sit there and talk for an hour when I'm giving up time to be with someone for this. And, yeah, it's taking time for myself or whatever, but I much rather have that time for other people than to have it for myself. And I know that is a trauma response, trying to be a people pleaser or whatever else. And it's not even really about people pleasing. It's about making people who I care about a priority, even if they don't make me a priority, which I know I shouldn't do, but that is what I do. And so, the fact that my therapist took me on as a client, knowing full well that she was no longer going to be here in the state of Washington, knowing full well that I had to rearrange so much of my life to accommodate her. It's either have the appointment at 6:00 in the morning or have the appointment at 11:00 in the morning. Those are the only options that I have. And 6:00 in the morning was just too damn early because it meant that I had to get up at 5:30, make sure that my internet was connected, that my computers were ready to go. And then if we talked about anything that was hard hitting or like doing any kind of therapy, traumatic work, whatever, then it put me in a bad mood for the rest of the day, or it like completely zapped my energy for the rest of the day. And so she is very unwilling to extend it further than that because she's now on the East Coast. So 11:00 my time is, what is that? 12, 1, 2. Yeah, it's like 2 or 3:00 her time. And I felt like saying, well, I don't care that it's that time. Like, I'm a Washington State resident, and you are supposed to be a Washington State practitioner. So you need to work on the times that are conducive for your clients, not the other way around. So in that regard alone, that's made me want to walk away from her as a counselor, but whatever. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to give her 2 more chances. And if we don't start any actual therapy by, I'll say, by February 14th, then I'm just going to cancel and tell her, listen, you are not doing any of the therapies that I needed. You're not providing me with the services I wanted. I told you from day one what I needed, what I wanted, what I expected. You agreed, and we have done nothing. So, yeah. I have been taking online classes again this year. I do it once a year, anyways. And what was I going to say? Oh, and this year, so far, the class that I'm taking is trauma informed counseling for coaches. And it's pretty interesting so far. Last night, I just finished the 5th or 6th module. And in all of those different modules, like, we touched on different aspects of trauma informed counseling, and, like, you know, fight, the fight or flight or free responses, and how, like, certain things that we fear or if we have anxiety over are more often linked to how our mothers felt during their pregnancies, that it's conditioning the fetus for what the environment's going to be like. So if it's a very stressful pregnancy and there's a high level of cortisol running through the mother, then the baby, who is connected to the mother's, like, nervous system or whatever, has cortisol running through it. So when the baby is finally born, 9 times out of 10, they have a high level of cortisol running through their veins. And then later on, they said that, you can trace that back to, or that you can later trace that to the patient having anxiety, having anger, having, like, whatever. And it's just kind of interesting how we're in this class, we're doing a whole body approach, because most of the time we live in this space here. And so when we have something like fear or anger, it happens somewhere in our body, and it's teaching us to, like, come out of the head space and down into the body. And where are you experiencing that anger? Are you experiencing it in your stomach? Are you experiencing it in your heart? Are you experiencing it in your, like, shoulder? Where, like, when you start to get these, like, moments, are you experiencing it? And I had to take a moment and do one of their exercises, and I noticed that when I got angry, I feel it in my back, and it kind of wraps around me. So that was interesting. And I was trying to figure out, like, why my back? And the only thing I could think of is that um, whenever I whenever I did something wrong, I got spanked for it. And so maybe me having to have my back to the people, or you know, getting my butt spanked or whatever like that. I was put in the corner a lot, so like being like in the corner, my back is vulnerable, so I always was tense. And so there's a lot of like different correlations that go along with that or whatever. So it's been very fun and very informative, and just kind of interesting how all these things are linked and come across, and how sometimes certain things are passed on to the next generation, and that just becomes a family trait, because those unresolved emotions are generational. And I was just like, huh, okay, cool. So I've been doing that a lot. I've also been just kind of living in my bedroom again, not really in a depressed way, just in a needing comfort way, and being really tired all the time. I've been in this like hibernative kind of state lately, where all I want to do is sleep. And I'm probably, after this video, going to go back in and go to sleep. Um, so I don't know. All of that aside, I am having a lot of fun over on Red Note. They are so freaking amazing, so just such fun people. And you know, I I love the fact that this cultural exchange is happening, because they had a lot of misconceptions about us, and we had a lot of misconceptions about them. Um, and they want to see our day-to-day lives. Like, what do we do? And the other day, I just took a video of me driving down the road and talking, just like, this is where I live. Um, this is one of the neighborhoods that I drive through quite often. Here in my state, there's a lot of really beautiful green trees, and it's normal for fog and all this other stuff. And they love seeing my cat, and they love seeing my Funko Pop collections and things like that. So it's been really interesting, and just watching their videos, even if they're not in English yet, some of the bigger uh, content creators are trying to make English content. So one of my misconceptions about Chinese and Japanese people is that everyone knew English. Like, I thought that that was something that they were taught, was to learn English, because they many businesses do business with America or English speaking countries, and mo the this is just more of things that I thought. Okay. And I thought that everyone spoke multiple languages, not realizing that some only speak Chinese. Not everyone speaks Mandarin or Cantonese or Spanish or English. And English is a very difficult language. Like, I was watching a kindergarten teacher who was teaching her class how to speak English, American English. And I was listening to her and I was like, I speak English and that doesn't even make sense to me, but these kids are understanding it. And as I'm sitting here, like, listening to her, because I wanted to be a high school English teacher at one time in my life, I was listening to her and I was like, that makes sense. And this is the best possible way for it to be explained. And I was learning because I have learning disabilities. When like, I have dyslexia, I have dyscalculia, where I transpose words, numbers, and stuff like that. And with some things, I have to be shown and taught at the same time. So I'm an audio visual learner. So I have to see it, I have to hear it, I have to watch it be done, and then I can usually do it. If I have to figure out how to do it, I will figure it out. But, you know, a lot of times it might not be the proper way to do it, but it gets done. And so that was something that I always had problem with in school, is that the way that I would do something would not align with the way that the teacher was trying to teach me, but it would still get done. And it's like, well, how did you come up with that answer? And it's all, well, you know, my grandmother has 14 jars of preserves and my grandpa has 5 fishing poles. And it's like, you know, this recipe blog of stuff that is not connectable are just, it isn't connected, that helped me come up with the like the answer or whatever. So um just, it's interesting, especially now that I'm older and taking adult classes and stuff like that. I seem to be able to retain the information a little bit better and a little bit easier, because my test scores are almost perfect. And I think the lowest test score that I've had so far was a 75 in all of the online classes that I've done. So, yeah. But it's just such a beautiful cultural exchange. And, like, I love the fact that we as American people said, you're not going to take away our First Amendment rights in being able to utilize this technology to share our voice, our opinions, our ideas, our freedoms of speech, and left a platform that was possibly going to be banned. Don't know if it still is or not, to go to a whole nother platform and willingly give up all of our information that the government wanted for themselves and was afraid that they were going to take from us. And it's like, no, we're done being told what to do, how to do it, and why to do it. So, anyways, yeah. Before I let you guys go, I printed out, I had Gonji, which is the game that they play in Squid Game Season 2, the little triangle game. It's like jacks or whatever. So I had a set of Gonji made up. And I had a tumbler handle made, but this thing is way too large. It's good quality, like the inlay and the infill and all that other stuff is really good quality. It's a little rough right here, which I could take like a piece of sandpaper to or whatever, but yeah, like it does not fit any of my tumblers. Like, here's my Starbucks tumbler, like there's a huge amount of room. So I'm just going to hold on to it until I find a cup that will actually fit it, or I might find something else to do with it. I don't know. But yeah. So anyways, guys, I'm going to let you go. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the comment section down below, and I will talk to you next time.